So, oh, you're still working, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, anytime.
I don't want you, you're still crunching through. Zero radius. Yeah. But it's what it is. That's how much on average the distances are. Yeah, once you get to number 6, hold tight. I'll send you home with the rest of it to knock out. Ooh, is that bad?
This one, it's 0.00.
This guy.
Did you put that in 7.731 or 0.87?
Yeah.
Oh, it's right, because these are all in decimal form. That has to be in decimal form. 0.877.
On average population,
There you go. Run her again.
each pays $93, almost $94 a year.
Whoa.
There
There we go. You know what, Megan, thank you for bringing that up, actually. Just to give you guys a heads up, there's a little bit of proofreading you can do with these kinds of problems. Like if you're, and it's so easy. This is the danger. Whenever we start using technology to do everything for us, which is fantastic, please realize I'm not saying I don't want to do that. I think we should keep doing that. Because it gets us to our numbers and our answers, and then we can talk about them. But that's why often I'll stop and kind of go back and do something manually so you don't understand. It's not going away. Stuff is still being done in the background. But the problem with it is, sometimes you're cranking away, you hit enter, boom, and you write your number down, and you're good to go. And you might not have gotten the correct answer, but the TI is going to happily crunch the numbers for you. Self-checks on probability distributions like this one, make sure when you run the one-bar stat screen that n equals 1. After you've run one-bar stats, and you get the screen, make sure it says n equals 1 at the bottom. That means you entered the probabilities in most likely correctly, which means they're summing up to 100%. Does that make sense? So if you're getting an n of 3 or an n of, like these guys are getting 87, if you're getting something other than 1, go back and look. Now, time out with that a little bit. If you're using approximate values, it might come back at 0.99999 or 1.00001 or something like that. That's close enough. But if you're getting something wickedly far away from 100%, then something's up. Number 1. Number 2, if there's something in the SX row, go back and do it again. There will be no sample standard deviation if you've set in a distribution. Because you've put in the distribution of the population, there's no sample at work. Those are both indicators that something's going on that shouldn't be going on. Is that fair? On average, how much are you making per policy?
Negative $93.
And the key is the negative. You're losing $93 on average. Now, don't get upset by this. Why does it have to be that way?
Because then they have money to pay people who are getting injured.
On average, they're losing money for one reason. They have to collect money from you to put into the pool to create the money for those that are being paid out, number 1. Number 2, and this is actually almost a Vegas reason, an insurance company is a what? It's a company and it's a business, and they got to pay their employees, they got to keep the lights on, they got to keep the heat on in the winter, they got to pay their rents. All those costs have to come out of what you pay them. I mean, it's not like they charge you twice. They don't charge you for the policy and then also for their rent. It's all, this is what actuaries do all day long, is figure out how much they have to charge to make enough money to cover their costs. So I don't feel so bad about the negative 93 on this one, because that money has to go to something. It has to go to lots of things, actually. So, and in much the same way that Vegas' money goes to keeping the lights on all night, and keeping people giving free drinks and things like that. Yeah, Harrison.
So when you get life insurance, basically you have to stay with that same company like your entire life in order for them to make.
My wife has had us change life insurance policies.
My family has too.
Within 10 years, we've changed 5 times because she keeps shopping for better deals, and it's crazy. There don't seem to be incentives anymore, at least according to her.
Your wife signed you up for life insurance?
Yes.
That could be a deal.
And then she changed my brakes on my bike too. And I let her make my lunch, and then she has this weird yellow substance in my food. But the incentives don't seem to, at least from my. Again, what she does with me is I run the numbers for her, and I let her know that sounds like a good idea. She actually has this, she can go out and find this stuff brilliantly. She's amazing. I check the numbers. Like, for example, we switched to an HSA plan. COCC offered, for insurance, a high deductible health care plan. Have I told you guys about this? If I did, I apologize. I didn't. What this is, so you guys pay a premium every month for health insurance, or if you have health insurance, you pay a premium for it. A premium being an ante. That's your ante, right? That's the amount you pay to play the game, and the game being health insurance. A high deductible health care plan means you pay a far smaller monthly premium. But if you go to the doctor, you pay more per visit. Give me so far. So per month, I pay about 10% of what somebody that has the premium plan pays. But when I go to the doctor, I might pay 10 times as much for going to the doctor. There's the balance. So when this came out, the high deductible health care plan actually scared people off. Because what people were looking at was the maximum out of pocket that you would pay per year, $10,000. Before the insurance kicks in for 100% coverage. The other plan, the normal plan, the premium plan, the maximum out of pocket was something like $2,000, which means if you pay $2,000, then you get 100% coverage. People were scared to sign up for the high deductible health care plan because of the $10,000. So then I explained to them, like, yes, totally. But that's the worst case scenario. That's if you get sick that often in that coming year and have to accrue $10,000 worth of medical bills. And then I followed that by saying, and if you think you will, then don't sign up for that plan. Sign up for the other plan with more coverage. But for somebody like me, who is slowly being poisoned by his wife, slowly. For somebody like me who keeps himself in pretty decent shape, good diet, good exercise regimen, it makes more sense for us, and my wife's the same way, and Max, thank God, is the same way. It makes more sense for us to do the high deductible health care plan because we pay less per month and we save that extra money pre-taxed. And after 3 years of using it, I think we've used $200 at the doctor in 3 years. So we've got this huge chunk of savings that we've accrued so that inevitably when something happens that costs us a bunch of money, Max breaks both of his legs in a mountain bike race, we then have that money socked away that we can then apply to that. But we can keep the money rolling in on a regular... You see what I'm getting at here, friends? But this is the math we use to make those decisions. That's why, I think I told you this a couple days ago, this is the most important, probably, subject of the entire course. I'm glad we're spending 5 weeks on it. Because this is how you make decisions based on statistics. You're now seeing the fusion of all of it together. Did you catch the stat and the probability? Probabilities, statistics, it's all together. This is the beauty of it. I mean, you understand the world around you so much better if you get this. Good stuff. And save lots of money, maybe, potentially. Put it in places where it should be, yeah?
Don't go to Vegas.
I didn't say that! I said don't go to Vegas to invest your money. Go to Vegas, have a good time. I'm not saying go to Vegas, go rock climbing with me sometime. Get out there and climb on the sandstone, it's a good time. You know, we'll walk through the casinos and laugh. We'll walk through the casinos, smell like climbers and laugh at them while they walk right through.
Next week?
Yeah, so anyway, finish that bad boy up and bring it back next week. So Tuesday, just bring questions on outliers and probability distributions. And you'll meet my chicken spot. Yes, could somebody just turn the, just turn the camera off, that little power button on the far right side. Just push it.
I'm horrible at stuff like this.
Push it up. Well, thank you for
Could you
nice.
get that for me,
Yes, thank you,
please?
guys.
I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know.
Thank you.